Welcome back everyone to another video of World of Warship Legends. Today we're taking a look at Fault Line. I think one of the things that often gets lost in the knowledge of the play and as we grow as players is map awareness. There's not a good way to teach it. So I wanted to take some time to go through this map specifically because it's a little unique in the way it spawns players, and knowing how you can predict or at least have a good idea of what the enemy team is going to do will drastically improve your chances of getting a win on this map. So starting out, you see we have equal number of players on each team from the north to the south, but then if you look from the east to the west, if you were to draw a line straight down the middle of the map, you'll see the northern team only has 3 ships to the west of that line and 6 to the east, whereas the team that spawns on the bottom has 6 to the west and 3 to the east. This creates a unique imbalance, and knowing how to handle this imbalance is what's going to be key. So as I said, I am going to act as if I'm the cruiser spawning in the very southeast side. And the important part if you spawn on this side is just to play soft and to make sure that you're staying alive. More than likely what's going to happen is that the 6 ships that are spawning for the enemy on the north, they're all going to come around the top of that island, try to get into B and C. And it's our job to kind of be a buffer there. We want to slow down the team enough to allow our team that's going to be sending 6 ships over to A enough time to take that cap, overwhelm the 3 enemy ships on that side, and then come back to the middle. And you're going to need about 5 to 6 minutes, upwards of 9 to 10, in order for this to play out. So staying alive for that entire time is what's going to be the difference maker. Alright, so getting into the gameplay here, you can see I'm in Ochakov, and the way I laid it out there is pretty much how this game's going to unfold. The first thing I try to do when I'm on this cap is, as always, I want to try to take my cap. I spawned on the east side, so I'm going to go straight for the east cap. So I'm going to try to hug this island, get as close as I can, but as you can see there, we have some big guns on the enemy team on our side, so a lot of danger out there, a couple destroyers, and at this point I just want to make sure that we can either contest or take the cap if possible, because we can see there's no battleships that are right on the cap right now, so we might have an opportunity here. But if you're looking at the mini map up there, you can see our destroyer that spawned in the central position went ahead, took B. Awesome, great job by that destroyer. That's exactly what you want to see. But our 2 support ships, they left C, or B rather, and they're heading over to A. And that's where we're going to have that complete opportunity to overwhelm the enemy team over there. They only have 3 ships. We're going to have 5. So now it's just on those 5 ships to get out there, take the cap as quick as possible, and eliminate the enemy team that is there. Now, we want to try to take this cap if possible, but that isn't the primary objective here. The primary objective is just to slow the enemy team down to a pace that allows us enough time to get those 5 ships over at Alpha back into the middle and get them those cross-firing positions. So as you can see here, both destroyers are on our side, as well as a couple Yamatos of Georgia. Our Hipper that's here with us has taken some damage, and right here, this is the first kind of mistake that we make as a group on the east flank. The Georgia pushes too hard here. You would have liked to see them stay back a little bit, because I mean, you can just look at the mini map and see that's a lot of guns that are going to be pointed in there. At this point, I just want to start firing, try to take as much health off of their ships, or potentially take some of the attention off of the Georgia and bring it on to me, because I'm in a much better position to avoid incoming shots and to also do damage. Whereas they are completely bow in towards those ships, they're going to have to either show broadside or just continue going straight. So continue to play soft. We focus back into the middle. Now the 3 ships in the middle here, the 2 Yamatos and the Khabarovsk, they were the 3 ships that spawned just north of B. So I need to make sure I keep them in mind here during this engagement, or else I'm going to just get crossfired here. So you see, go ahead. I'm just pointing towards the back of the map again. We got the cap. We did what we wanted early on. At this point, it's just slowing them down. So I have some torpedoes in the water for the Yamato. The other cruiser here, the Hipper, is going to be taking the majority of hits. I'm not sure if they weren't aware that the Yamato was there, if they got a little fixated on the Suzuya and the Georgia that was in the cap. But fortunately, we're able to take a healthy chunk of health right there. And at this point, I just want to continue kiting away. You'll see I'll switch back to the Suzuya every now and then just to get a couple defends. You know, if I can just slow them down, make them stay in that cap a little bit longer, that's perfect. That's exactly what I'm aiming to do. I would say this Yamato actually made the right play strategically. The way they used the map just came straight south. Probably should have been changing up their speed a little bit, or just use the rudder shift a little bit more in order to throw off any potential torpedoes that might be coming in. I'm also wondering if they didn't think there were any destroyers over here, or if they just weren't aware that I had 8-kilometer torpedoes, so they weren't looking out for them. Either way, we were fortunate. We were able to get them down in a hurry, and it was enough to scare away the other Yamato. And you see, they started going due west, and that's going to push them right into the group of ships that we have coming in. You see, they've taken A, and now they're starting to come back into the central part of the map. And now I want to just continue drawing the enemy ships south. And you know, I don't need to take any more caps. I don't need to defend the cap, because that's what those other ships up there on the west are for. So my job now is just to continue to distract, take any potential damage that might be coming in, and then try to stay alive as long as possible. At this point, as I'm getting close to the southern border of the map, I have to try to decide, do I want to go quiet with the guns and go undetected for a little while and reposition in order to get a better attack angle? But that's what I'm trying to do right here. Unfortunately, you can see the Suzuya was just a little bit too close. We're still in my detection range. So it just makes sense to continue shooting. I have a much quicker reload than the Suzuya, so this is a decent enough engagement for me. But what's more important is I'm preventing these ships right here, the Khabarovsk and Suzuya, from supporting the Yamato that's just rolling into B. And if you look at the deployment of the rest of our ships, we have a cruiser north of B, we have a couple battleships just west, we have 2 destroyers on the south side. So we're sending this Yamato into a kill box. And right there, the team does exactly what they need to do, finish off the ship, and he was all by himself, had pushed a little bit too far, and that's a little bit on them for pushing too hard, and a little bit on their teammates here that are just chasing me towards the corner of the map. They're not very aware of where the other ships are on our team. They're more focused on the kill rather than taking care of their teammates. So here we see the Georgia pop up. And so I'm just going to go into the corner. I'm just going to keep trying to distract and, again, buy more time for the battleships and cruisers to come in and provide them with some crossfire angles on these ships. At this point, it doesn't matter if I die. Look at the point spread. We have almost a 650 point lead, and I have 3 ships, 2 ships now that are in my sphere of being able to hit them. So this is great. They're nowhere near a cap. They might kill me, but more importantly, I'm going to whittle down their health. And for every minute that I'm able to allow them to stay away from cap, from contesting B, that's just another 36 points in the blue team's pocket. I will say the Ochkov is probably the best ship for this. You know, it's a real high reload. I have 11.7 kilometer radar. I have 8 kilometer torps. So this ship is well suited for the type of kiting and avoiding damage and dealing damage role. But more importantly, all I wanted to do is try to get people to understand this map, be expecting to be overwhelmed, and have your ship in a position to protect your health points, to defend the cap, and ultimately help your team have a much better chance at winning. Most of the time what happens is that these ships that spawn in the southeast, they go down early, they get a little too aggressive, and then it allows all 6 of the ships that come down from the north side just free reign. So the team that has the disadvantage, the 3 that handle that disadvantage the best, is most likely going to be the team that wins more often than not. And fortunately, we had the Hipper. The Georgia went down a little bit early, but the Hipper did a great job kiting away. We were able to take out that Yamato almost single-handedly, which is a big amount of potential damage off the board. We had both of their destroyers focused on us, allowing the battleships to come in from the far west, and then ultimately we were just distracted and pulled the enemy away from the caps long enough to get our team in position to win and get them in the best chance to succeed. So let me know what you guys think of this. Is this useful? Is this just something that's common sense that you expect all players to understand? It's something that I think there's a little bit of a deficit of information to really be useful. So I wanted to give it a shot, and hopefully you guys got something useful out of it. If you have any questions or clarifications that you'd like, leave them below in the comments. I'm happy to answer whatever. If there are any other topics you'd like to see in the future, let me know. If this is your first time coming to the channel, consider hitting subscribe. We'll have a lot more videos coming at you shortly. Have a great day.